The world is spinning fast, navigating the chaos, built to outlast. 2 generations shaping destiny's art. The legacy blueprint, straight from the heart. The Fan Boss Frequency, we're tuning in. Chris and Skylar show you how to win. The Fan Boss Frequency. The Fan Boss Frequency.
Welcome to another episode of the Fan Boss Frequency. My name is Chris. I'm your host. Man, I tell you, that intro, I'm digging it. I mean, I want to go out and take over the world. I don't know about you, but got that 80s energy that, like, when we were kids, you know what I mean? Used to watch, was it Captain Planet? That's what it reminds me of as I sit here and drink out of my plastic Fiji water bottle, but I digress. So what's going on, everybody? What's happening? Been a day since we spoke, and today is the first day of a new quarter, and I thought this topic really piggybacked off our topic from yesterday. It's called the Mobile Command Center, upgrading the office on wheels. And those of y'all who know me know I love my truck. I've always wanted what I got. And if you don't know, I'll go ahead and share. I have a 2019 Ram 2500 Midnight Edition with a Cummins. I'll go as far as to say it's probably not legal for me to drive this in California. It's got a little lift on it, big boy tires. It's a diesel, and I friggin' love it. And it goes all over the place with me. We go everywhere. It's even been burglarized in New Orleans. So, you know, it's kind of had a little bit of I've had it about a year now. Best thing I ever bought. And I'd probably buy another one in a heartbeat. I did give up some features to kind of get this one. So next time I buy another one, I'll probably buy one off the lot brand new and build it out exactly like I want it. But this thing is freaking cool and I love it. So something I've learned the hard way is your environment will either help you produce or quietly wear you down. And if you travel as much as I do, trust and believe the Mobile Command Center is my truck. So your environment is not just something that applies to your home. It doesn't just apply to your office. It applies to your truck, your workspace, your mobile setup, your whole operating system. Because if you live your life out of a pickup and that pickup's a mess, then sooner or later your business starts feeling a mess too. That's why I decided to kind of upgrade some things in my truck, and now it's my Mobile Command Center instead of my cool truck. I used to name, I bought my truck last year, and I had a 2020 F-150, which I kept and passed down, and I love trucks in the black color. They're just real sharp to me. So when I bought this one, I named it Chris Rock from his album back in the early 2000s, Bigger and Blacker, and so we call that truck Chris Rock now. So when it wasn't about making the truck look better, I'm talking about making it work better. And so I got a cool little Bulletpoint mounting system where I got my little iPad and I got a little wireless keyboard. It has a little thing that basically turns my iPad into a computer. And, my little mounting system does like my radio and, my phone and all my cool stuff, and helps me stay productive no matter where I'm at. I even added extended range Wi-Fi. And I wanted my setup to really allow me to stay connected no matter where I was at. And so, because as a business owner or a leader, somebody trying to make things happen in real time, you can't always be tied to a desk. You got to get creative. So, leadership sometimes happens in the field, or you got to work in between stops, and decisions have to get made with one hand on the wheel and the other hand, handling business. I mean, it's just how it is. And if that's your life, then your environment needs to match your mission. So that's kind of the lesson here. A lot of people think productivity is just about discipline. And sure, discipline matters. It's kind of the foundation of how we get things done. But discipline gets a lot easier when your setup supports the work. If every charger is in the wrong place, if every cord is tangled, if your phone is sliding around and your gear scattered all over creation, and you can't get online when you need to, then you're spending your energy fighting your environment instead of doing your job. And that's mind-numbing after a while. So that's the kind of setup that doesn't exactly create confidence, and it creates a lot of friction. And friction's expensive. It slows you down. It's often a distraction. It makes you less focused, and it can turn simple little tasks into frustrations all day long. I can't find my phone charger. My phone's about to die, and I'm waiting for a call. Meanwhile, I'm doing 60 miles an hour on my way to the next client. That's a problem. So that's why I kind of started thinking differently about my truck. I didn't just want it to be transportation. I wanted it to be a very valuable tool. If I wanted to be, I really wanted to kind of be a place where I could think respond and plan, communicate, and do everything that I'm doing while I'm out and about. Because the truth is, a lot of us are trying to run modern businesses from outdated setups. They're trying to carry big responsibilities with a system that isn't built for the way we actually work. And then wonder why we feel behind all the time. But if your vehicle becomes a real mobile office, dude, that changes everything. Now you're not just commuting, you're operating. Now you're not just sitting in traffic, you're making decisions. You're connected. You're answering calls, reviewing notes. You keep that momentum alive. You keep it moving. That's a different mindset. Let me tell you, this Bulletpoint mounting system I purchased, I went back and forth probably 2 years before I finally pulled the trigger, because I was going to put one on my old truck. No, not really. And then I was like, I'm going to get one for this one. I was like, I don't want to spend $200. If you knew how much money I've spent on crap that have dropped my phones, that have fallen off the glass, that have fallen apart, I mean, just total garbage. I had one that I bought from my truck years ago, and I got in a car crash. I think I had that thing 2 weeks, and it broke in the car crash. I'm like, this is so dumb. But I spent the money because I wanted to have that efficiency. When I pull up and somebody walks out and sees when I pull up to a job site and I crack open my door, people know I mean business. Not just because, I drive a nice truck and, I do what I do and I'm on their job site. They're not coming to me. But when they crack the door open and they see that, I got my laptop, or I got in this case, I've got my iPad set up on my dash. I got my little keyboard. I got all my good stuff. I can do what I need to do on the fly. I can do an actual demo live on the scene. That's a big deal, man. It's a mindset. The whole thing is a mindset. And when you start adding, the mounts, that bullet mount setup gave me structure that I've been longing for. It gave me a place for the things that I actually use. It made my truck feel more intentional instead of just chaotic and trying to find crap everywhere. The Wi-Fi, the hotspot I put in, staying connected is not a luxury anymore. It's part of the job. And hotspot on my phone is great, but I want a dedicated device. That's what it did in my truck. So if you're leading a team, managing clients, staying on top of businesses, or just business in general, or trying to keep things moving from the field, you need a reliable connection, not just at the office, but everywhere. Because opportunities don't wait till you get back to your desk. And let me tell you, problems don't wait either. Those calls come in while you're on the road, they got to be answered, and it needs to happen right now. The issues can be solved faster if you're equipped to handle them in the moment. The whole mobile command center was really born out of those necessities in my life. It was about reducing delays, increasing the control, and making sure my vehicle was a part of my workflow instead of just part of my commute. So let me also say this too. Your truck is speaking. It says something about how you think, about how you work, and about what you value. If your truck is cluttered, disorganized, and frustrating to use, it tells a story. If your truck is clean, functional, and set up to help you work, it tells a different story. And I believe the stories matter. Because your environment trains your habits. A messy setup teaches you to tolerate chaos. A clean setup teaches you to expect order. A prepared setup teaches you to move with purpose. That's why this isn't just about accessories or gadgets. It's about building a lifestyle of readiness. If you're going to lead from the field, then the field has to be ready. If you're going to do business from the road, then the road has to be a part of your ecosystem. But if you're going to be a fan boss, then you have to think beyond the desk. That's what I mean by personal mobile office. It's not about showing off. It's not about having cool stuff. I mean, everybody likes cool stuff. The girl in Yellowstone said it best, cool stuff ain't cheap and cheap stuff ain't cool. I think a lot of times you get what you pay for, but I wanted to create a space where I could do real work in real time without losing the rhythm every time I have to leave the building. I mean, this matters for my business, for my family, and really for my peace of mind. Because when your system is built right, you don't feel so scattered. You don't feel rushed, and you don't feel like you're always reacting. You feel like you have a lot more control. And when you're in control of your environment, you're more likely to stay in control of the output. That's the whole point. If you want better results, start paying attention to the places where your time is actually spent. For me, that meant the truck. For you, it might be a workspace, a shop, a home office, a van, a trailer, or even a service vehicle. An RV would be pretty cool, let's be real. But wherever your days live, that's where your systems need to improve. because a better environment doesn't make you look better. It makes it easier to lead, to think, but most importantly, to execute. So if you're trying to build something that lasts, if you're trying to build something that matters a whole lot, yeah, upgrade your office on wheels, man. Have fun, have at it. Because at the end of the day, all we want is to get through our day as easily as humanly possible. We want to stay focused. We want to stay connected from the field and not just from the desk. And that, to me, is part of the fan boss mindset. Let's build the system. Let's organize the space, lead from where we are, and make your environment work for your mission. Because if your truck's a mess, your business will feel like a mess. But if your truck becomes a command center, then everywhere you go becomes a place where work can get done. And that's how you win, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope this kind of helped put some things in perspective. And if you have any questions about my setup, or I probably will do a tour here pretty soon on YouTube. But like I said, I love the B2B stuff, man. I want to make sure that we're on point everywhere we go. So same thing with my service trucks, my ops manager trucks. We buy everything we buy for a reason, and we don't mind investing in our future. So before we leave, make sure you swing by thefanboss.com, check out the website, and check out our sponsors. And, you can save a couple bucks here and there for sure. Until next time, make sure you join us on the Fan Boss frequency. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.